Good afternoon, knitters. How are you? Welcome to Recreational Knitting Podcast, Vlogmas number 21. You've only got 4 more days of shopping. That's the bottom line. I'm all done mine. It's nice to have adult children that, when asked, they said, oh, just give us money. I send them knitted items throughout the year, and so this Christmas, they all got socks and scarves and shawls. So I think they're well taken care of, and so I'm done. Luke and I don't really exchange gifts, although this year we got a new thermostat. Yeah, it's real sexy, but was needed. So, and we got a Ring doorbell that we've been talking about getting for the rig for a while. We've discovered that there's problems in some campgrounds, as you would expect in any neighborhood, that people take boxes, plants, coolers, bikes, whatever. It's not terribly, we don't hear about it a lot, but it's enough that we thought, okay, so those are our Christmas presents and we already have them installed, so it's all good. Before I get started with knitting, I just want to remind you of the 750 subscriber giveaway. We've already met that. I'm not picking it until after Christmas just because there's a lot going on with everybody. So I will probably podcast the 26th or the 27th, and that will be where I tell you how to enter, and then the next one you'll get picked. So it'll be around the end of December when I pick that. Okay, just to let you know. I've discovered that when you put giveaway in your podcast, you get a lot of people that aren't interested in anything about your podcast, but they want to subscribe and get some free stuff. So this way, you're hanging around a little longer and, exactly. So trying to play the game against the scammers. So there's that. Anyway, the second administrative announcement that I have is that we will be doing a make-along, knit-along, crochet-along, whatever you want to call it, in January and December. December? No, where did I get that? January and February. It's down in the comments below. Pull those down and look to see what the rules are. You must be able to send a picture to Ravelry, or you can send it to me, and I'll, you contact me and I'll, let you know how to do that. And those must be posted by December 31st, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So those of you in different time zones, you're good. You've got some leeway there in the West Coast. So anything that is cast on is game. So if you've got 12 bags of UFOs and works in progress, you can take a picture of each and every one of them, and those will be entered if you finish them by February the 28th. All down below. All right? Okay, that's out of the way. Went to the doctor today. My doctor is sick. They didn't bother to call me. I know, it's the holiday season. It's the holiday season. Okay, yeah. So, but at least it's only about 20-minute drive. So it wasn't totally wasted. I had to go to the market and get a few things and pick up a couple prescriptions. So it is what it is. So I have a couple things I want to show you. Not a lot of progress on any, particularly this first one. This first one is another anchor. I think you've seen this if you've been watching it all in a couple episodes. Let's see where my marker is. I think this is where I was the last time that I showed you. See how little bit I've done? Well, I only took this to the doctor's. So, you know, I haven't had a lot of time of waiting, fortunately. And I took it today, and I didn't get anything knit on it today. But I found that I had made myself a little short row. Didn't mean to do that. So I had to rip out a row and a half and do it again. So I'm back to about where I started from. So if it looks the same, there's a reason. This is another anchor sweater. This is made in Cascade Sarasota, and I don't know what the colorway is named, but certainly it is light blue by my account. I've used this much yarn so far, and I have 5 skeins, so I'm certain to have enough. I may be able to make the sleeves a bit longer this time. So this was going to be on the back burner until some of the other things got taken care of, but this is very easy to, to take, unless you're creating a short row when you're not supposed to. So anyway, that's in my Simply Sock yarn com bag. Let's try that again. simplysockyarn.com. And if you can't read that because it's yellow, today is a good day. Well, let's see if I can read it first. Today's good mood is sponsored by yarn, and it certainly is. And it's relatively not gray outside. It's not sunny by any stretch, but it is light gray today. So that's always wonderful. I'm hoping you're keeping safe and healthy. This is crazy. I'm seeing, like people being really sick with flu and COVID again. And, the fact that my doctor is sick, never a good sign. Of course, he's older, and so it might be something totally unrelated to any of that. So anyway, just stay healthy. And I know we don't like them, but wear the masks. They really make a difference. So remember that yarn that I bought, and I think I showed you this 2 days ago that I had cast it on. Oh, yarn everywhere. How do I get that in there? There we go. It sits in a bag, and I don't know what it does when we're not looking, but dancing. I don't know but why does it always come out tangled? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is my Autumn League sweater. I've been wanting to make this for at least 2 years, and I got it together in the front, and this is the one. It's a free pattern, and it's a raglan, and it has that little like X that looks like a sweatshirt basically. And I'm really loving the yarn. This is Knit Picks, and it's an upcycled yarn. It's 33% acrylic, 33% wool, or 34% wool, and 33% alpaca. Very soft, very soft. You wouldn't need to wear anything under this. I probably will, but I still, so I'm getting there. I hooked it together, and from this, you pick up stitches to make the ribbing neckline. So, yeah, I think I finally figured it out. And these twisted stitches, for lack of a better word. They're left twist and right twist. I don't know whether you can see that very well or not. There's one there and there's one there. You can see this one a little bit better. I don't know why. But anyway, so I've made a tiny bit of progress on that. I worked on a sock. I did maybe 3 rows. I'm not showing you that. I think since the last time I showed you this, I've made a tiny little bit of progress. But these rows are getting really long. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to change the cord very soon. Let me get this right. There's where I was when I showed you last, and I've put in a few rows. This is so fun to work on. It's the Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart. Very easy, great TV. If you make a mistake and do a little less or a little more of these, straight knitting rows, it's really not going to make a difference. To me, it doesn't. I'm sure that there are some of you that you would rip it back, and I get that, but I'm not one of those people. It's a blanket, and it's made with scrappy yarns. I've been trying to keep up with sewing ends in, but I still have quite a few. Well, not really. I did pretty good last night. Yeah, that's the problem with scrappy yarn, and especially sock yarn, because it mostly is most of these yarns are not 100% wool, because they are mostly sock yarns. There's a few in here that are 100% merino, but I'm not spit splicing. I am doing some magic knots on occasion. Should do more of it, but I'm weaving them in as I go, and it's working out so far. So yeah, so I'm making some progress on this, and it's this is the length of it. I haven't measured, but this is where I started. This little blue piece, navy blue, and it keeps going. So I don't know how long I'll keep going, but I have a full bag of yarn. I resupplied my bag that I'm picking out of. I found another little bag of sock yarns and whatnot. And there are, really itty bitty pieces that will be good on the other side where you don't have a long row. That, I'm going to keep those at the bottom of the barrel, because, that you're going to get this much, maybe, from them. Yes, I do save all those little bits. Never know. So there has been in my notes down below for the last 3 Vlogmases, there's an article that some of you may or may not be interested in, but it's down there, and it links to an article, I think, from Yankee Magazine. And Yankee Magazine is a magazine that's been around since dirt and in the United States, and it's mainly for, the New England area. In this article, they talk about boiled mittens. So it's pretty fascinating, and they also give you the directions on how to make boiled mittens. And so if you've got a need for that kind of object, I'm certain that this originated in the UK somewhere. But we have it, and it's an old, I was going to say recipe, it's an old pattern. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I thought, if I was living in Minnesota or, Maine, I certainly would make some. South Florida, I don't think I'm going to need them. I hope. Speaking of, the question of the day. I let you off the hook yesterday since you got the Yarny tour. The question of the day is, I want you in the comments below, just put, or you can put whatever you want, but what I'm asking for is where you live, like a state. You know, if you live in Minnesota, you don't need to tell me the town. Or if you live in the UK, if you live in Scotland, whether you live in Wales, and what the temperature is today. Let's make it the low temperature. And tomorrow, you can do the same thing. And the next day, because I hear that at least in the United States, it's going to like dip 50 degrees in like a day. It's going to be crazy. So tell me today what the high is where you are and where you're located. It's 48 degrees here in North Carolina. And I just want you to have a great rest of your day and enjoy baking, knitting, shopping. Hopefully you're doing something that you love. And if it's shopping, you're a better woman or man than I. So on that note, I will see you tomorrow. Knit in peace. Bye.